So let's say he is allowed to run, and then the expectation is that he would win. How are investors thinking about that prospect? That's
a make it or break it deal for them. So the last year was a year of huge political, unrest in the country, and Brazil's stocks are up significantly so far year to date, and the perception is that they will continue the rally if he becomes the president. Now, a lot of people are still concerned now that this car wash investigation has been on and on for years and years and years. So, there is a lot at stake, and we are talking about potentially billions of dollars of investors' money.
Now, the reason why he's so popular among Brazilians is because he's still seen as a champion of the poor. But what kind of policies is he championing these days when it comes to cleaning up the corruption in Brazil? Because that's one reason why people didn't like Dilma or don't like Temer.
Right. So he's been saying that all of those charges are aimed at preventing him from running the president. So all of this is fabricated. All of this is for him to be in the sidelines.
He's basically saying it's fake news.
Yeah, fake news. Fake news is the Brazilian way, so to say. So he has a lot of attention among all of the poor class people, something that Lula doesn't have, Dilma didn't have. So that's something that attracts all of the lower class people who have nothing to do with Petrobras, who have nothing to do with those billions of money that are connected to the car wash investigation.
So when specifically is the ruling, and also what are the odds? Like, do you have people put a guess on what they think it's likely?
And all of the analysts have been talking to us saying that the odds are at about 0. So he's not, the decision is going to be upheld. Which is
it's expected that the conviction will be upheld. So ultimately, it's still pretty unlikely that he is allowed to run.
It is still pretty unlikely, but the level of popularity has been rising so far this year. I mean, he's been cooperating with the government. He's been making a lot of political gestures that the lower class people and people who don't have enough money that are not connected to Petrobras, this sounds appealing to them. So it remains to be seen. It's on Wednesday.
All right, let's talk about some other calendar events when it comes to emerging markets. I know South Korea, the Philippines will be releasing data. Nafta, of course, the 6th round of discussions have begun as well. What are you focusing on? What are you hearing from readers and from investors that you talk to?
Of course, Nafta is a huge deal. This least level of discussion is going to be the longest round ever. At stake is about $1 trillion. That's the trade volume between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. So a lot of people are looking at the increased chances that Trump can just pull out and say, I'm done with this, I'm done with all the negotiations. So Canada and Mexico are expected to come up with some kind of agreement and some kind of decision that could propel the talks further. One of the person I talked to from Hermitage Foundation said that we are nearing a deadlock. We're nearing a very important point. So that's a pretty important deal right now.